What's up guys, it's Denodon here, and today we are back in Star Citizen, where I'm taking a bit of a late look at the social module release, which is the next stage of the game's development basically, and the next bit available to all backers. Now we are in the elevator at the moment that you arrive from after getting out of your hangar, so let's just walk straight out, shall we? So you'll notice straight away we are in what's basically the customs entryway. This is supposed to be basically the area you arrive in, and you'll see a guy running and jumping around there because this is obviously a social thing, and as a result this is a multiplayer environment where you can sort of interact with people without actually, getting up and shooting at them, although you can probably do that sooner or later. But yes, this is the customs module, so as you can see you've got all these various things. And if we look out here, you'll see a freelancer on the landing pad, which is something that all sorts of people want to, get to, and I've seen people do it, so, it's possible. But let's just keep moving along. This is just obviously a waiting area. That's how you exit if you're coming out from the social model, so we've got more people here. Now, you'll notice they don't have any names over them. If we hit F2, we bring up the first stage of the Moby Glass, which is supposed to be an alternate reality interaction thing. So you can see if I hover over someone, it gets their names. So, that's quite handy if you're trying to figure out who a person is. But we're going to turn that off because it makes things darker for the moment. You can also hit F12 for the chat, but I'm going to leave that off. But that is also how, you interact with people. So let's go through the checkpoint. So let's go into here. Now I'm going to have to apologise for blurry textures. I'm running this on medium settings because it is a bit laggy, and my GTX 580 doesn't really cope anymore, so I'm going to have to do something about that. But yes, you've got this guy, which if you remember the planetside demo they put out last year, he was at all spoken lines, but at the moment he's just sort of, neutral staring at you, and we've got information about a ship that we weren't actually flying, but we can dream. So let's go through. This was obviously the scanner unit that isn't active, and we'll walk through to the main center. So here we are, the center of ArtCorp with this big giant ball thing. And if we look up, you'll see that massive building right in front of us. Now, ArtCorp is basically supposed to be the overall, I don't know how you would describe it really, is the big industrial city. Basically, think Coruscant from Star Wars, but more industrial focus, and that is this. Because basically it's supposed to be where various corporations bought entire planets and did what they want with them. So there's this weird orb thing in the middle. I'm not sure what it's actually for, but if I remember right, it was something about Chris Roberts saying he wanted each location to have an identifier. Because of course, when the game goes live, instead of interacting through menus, you will land from your ship, come out of a customs bay like that, and you would be in these sort of worlds where you actually interact with everything and everyone, so, that's where you buy stuff. So is there anything on this screen at the moment? We've got some information about headquarters and trade divisions, and we've got various advertising marks up here, but we can ignore them at the moment. Let's just go this way first. Now you've got Cubby Blast here. Since 2932 apparently, it is a gun store, so obviously it's where you get your guns. Shooting range, best prices in the verse, try a rifle, pistol, or shotgun. And I like these signs here. You've got like cameras, that one's like a normal one. So let's just walk in, shall we? So we've got a bit of head bob, which I hope we can disable. And here you are, the gun store. Now, we can't really buy anything at the moment, this is just for looking. But you've got all the guns on display, and if we re-enable the Moby Glass, you can actually see it tells you a little bit about the weapon and its price. So obviously you can't buy them at the moment, this is the in-game currency that eventually you'll be able to earn. And yes, it's kind of interesting, it shows you how, everything will be done in this sort of manner. And you've got the guy over here, who's your sales rep. Ooh, and his face just changed, that was creepy. But yeah, you got all the various things, and you've got a vandal head, because you can't be an owner of a gun store without having a monument to the enemies, whatever. So let's just keep moving here. You got like a target sheet again of a vandal. You got various other information. The shooting range is actually not available at the moment, but that would be for that way. And then you've got this sign, which is great. Shoplifters will be executed to the fullest extent of the law. So, There's more varying degrees of execution, I suppose. Got some more stuff down here. But yeah, let's leave the gun store now and let's move on to the next place. So we'll just run through here. And like I say, lots of blurry textures. I'm not sure what this is. I think this looks like it's maybe a charging station or something. Maybe that's how you charge your grey cats, you know, the golf buggies. Because actually that's exactly what it is, because there's an icon for it there. Never noticed that before, so the odds are you park your grey cat buggy here and you can plug it in to charge. That is kind of cool. I have one of those buggies, so now I'm actually concerned I'm going to have to start caring about battery life for it. Who knows? Interesting fan. Now, yeah, there's all these sorts of like side alleys and things. Most of them don't actually really go anywhere yet. They're just sort of hinting at where you'll be able to go later on. So let's just go up here, have a look around. Oh, we got a ship flying past. Oh, it's a Mustang. Nice engine rumble there. You can look right down into the bowels of our core, all the way down there. And, you know, it's got quite a good view distance on it. Oh, there's a Gladius flying past. But yes, oh, there goes a Cutlass. But yeah, this sort of location is really good for just ship spotting. Which is, I reckon, you know, that's something I actually enjoy doing in the real world, or plane spotting. So maybe I'll do it in this. But yeah, we'll just keep going up for now. I mean, this area doesn't really go anywhere, so that's an issue. Oh, we've got another ship flying past somewhere. Because you can hear it, but you can't see it. Oh, there we go. It's a 300 series coming in. So there we go. I've got one of them as well. But yes, let's just keep walking. I'm not sure where this will eventually go. At the moment, it doesn't go anywhere. But yeah, got some various futuristic litter and various advertising boards. And then again, another really nice view down there. So let's just keep on going, shall we? Because there's quite a lot to show, even in this little module. And this is the first stage of the module, so at the moment there isn't really a lot you can do, you can just kind of walk around it. But the next step they're planning on adding will be to whole actually, you know, interact with the stores. You can buy and sell things in game, and then they'll have the NPCs that come to life, because at the moment they don't. But yeah, let's just run over. Oh, let's jump. I always forget how to run. There we go, let's just run over here. That'd be a weird thing in real life, just to forget how to run. But yes, let's go into the medical unit. So let's just go in. And again, this is basically, I think, supposed to be a representative of if you die, you respawn in these sort of locations. So let's just look here. Again, you've got some various medical equipment. So you can see they tell you about what they are and how you can buy them. So, because obviously Star Citizen is going for the whole, you know, sort of semi-permadeath in a way. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. So, you know, various buying things. You can't actually go into the emergency rooms or whatever yet, but again, some people have figured out how to do it through glitching. So if you want to see that, there's probably videos for it. And then another blank NPC who's just sort of staring. He looks utterly bored of his life. I would be too if I was just standing there, not saying a thing. But anyway, let's back out. Nice reflections in the water there. I can't wait till we get environmental effects, because this will look really cool once those are added. Let's just go to the next building, which, if I remember right, is the Jobwell. Now, I haven't really looked at this proper in a while, because, well, when it launched, as you could expect, there was lots of people trying to get to it, which meant lots of issues. But yes, this is the Jobwell, which is basically supposed to be the place that you get missions from in-game. So, you know, if you want to work for various NPC companies, they'd post their things here, or you can deal with them on a person-to-person basis. So you've got like a customer service desk here with nobody in it. So not very good customer service. Maybe this is a reference to Valve, who knows. But anyway, I kid, let's keep going on. And also these are like the actual booths you'd be getting the missions from. So like you'd be interacting with the computer, I suppose, to get them from there. So, you know, I've got a bit of various text. But yep, that's just, you know, rough thing. Now the best thing, of course, about this whole Jobwell building is this massive building, or not massive building, massive window, which overlooks a constellation on the landing pad. And you can see there's a bunch of NPCs walking around on it and working on it as the ships fly by. So, you know, there's a grey cat in the bottom left there. There's a guy on the engine cowling, but I can't really see him from this angle. Guy carrying a box of crates or something there. So, you know, there's an interesting thing. And, of course, look at that view with the smoke that keeps coming and disappearing. Like I said, again, this is on medium settings, so, you know, If I had a more powerful computer, I'd show it on higher ones, but this is okay, I suppose. But let's keep going. We've got a lot more to look at still, and I know this video is going to be dragging on a bit longer than I normally like to have them. But I wanted to kind of give a better tour of this, mostly because, even though it's late, most of you have probably already seen this by now if you're interested, but more just to do with the whole, in the future, this will be an interesting thing to look back on and go, oh, remember when the game looked like that? We got more charging stations here. Let's go into the bar, the G-Lock bar. So this is, as you can imagine, a bar, as he's got lots of bottles on the front. So let's go in through these doors. Got an interesting, I don't know, gun or something hovering over here. And then here's the bar itself, with that nice atmospheric sounds, even though it's empty, which is unlike any bar I've ever seen in reality. With the nice screens that we can imagine will one day be showing actual, in-game events like the Murray Cup or whatever. So let's have a look. We've got the bartender dude here, who is the creepiest guy in any game, because if you go to him, you'll see he's got no eyes, or he does, but they're basically unlit. It's like, oh, and he's untextured now as well. It's like, what are you doing, man? What's wrong with you? And he's not going to load, so he's terrified. Let's just get out of here. Sorry about that. Let's see, what else have we got? Yep, you've got the dance floor, obviously. You've got all these various things. And let's go have a look outside the windows. You've got a dance floor, obviously, because you can't have a bar without a dance floor. Unloaded thing, and a view, again, that's of a construction area. So, it's an interesting bit of something, I suppose. And, this should be another sort of area you could get missions in the less formal approach. So, think Star Wars and how they met Han Solo, to be something like that. But anyway, let's continue, shall we? So we'll leave the Jobwell and actually we'll go down here. Because if I remember right, there is some other stuff you can find down this way. Bit slow down the stairs, but yep, let's just run. Got the rubbish, and yes, this is actually, now I remember it, where the furnace is. So you go into this area and here is like the trash compactor. So, you've got to have that sort of evil side, I guess. I mean, look at that. That is kind of, I'm surprised this is alright, like, in this area compared to that, which is fine. But, you got to have these sort of things. They add a nice touch, don't they? And then the big value. You can see that this would be like a good setting for sort of shady deals or whatever, which I'm sure people will figure out some way to do. And yet, we'll keep walking it. Now, this is also a pretty small area, but they said that this is just the starting point, and that it will expand as we go on. Look at that graffiti pop into existence as we run along, and we've got something here that we can't go to, and, various fencing. So this is just sort of like an example of the sort of back streets or alleyways of, Arcor that this planet is. Let's just keep going, shall we? We got another dead end here, which, yeah, just stops. But you get a pretty cool view from where you can see, and there's obviously somewhere that goes there. So maybe one day we can go down that way. But anyway, let's run back towards the stores, because we've still got at least one more place we can visit. So let's just run here. This is Area 18, by the way. That's what it's called. And it's the landing zone. And yes, there is a closed store that's closed. Like, ironically, they haven't made character customization yet, although they do allow slight tweaks to character. So I'm actually playing as one of the outlaw armors. You can bet basically 6 of them. And they are from the FPS, which still hasn't launched, but that's what happens. So let's just walk across this bridge to the Astra Armada, as some guy runs past the other way. And yep, you can see this is again another great view from this bridge, and the Cutlass flies past. I think they're just on animation loops. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, because they're all just setting the scene. But anyway, the Astra Armada is the place where you would buy ships. So let's go into this location and see what we've got. They've got some advertising for the 890 Jump, which is a luxury ship. And then they've got on a little turntable thing here, they've got an Origin M50, which is a ship that I actually have as well. So, I don't need to be buying it from here, but it looks cool. And for people who don't have one yet, that's what they look like. And I've done a video of me flying one as well, so you know, there's that. But anyway, this is sort of like the lounge area where you can make your decisions about whether you're going to buy them or not. And then you've got various representatives, like you've got this dude here, who's again another one who's just sort of standing here looking at you blankly. And yeah, you've got some music for some like things showing. This would be like how you change, like it gives you information about the ship, I imagine. And let's just go to the upstairs, because we can, with these fancy, I think they're supposed to be semi-floating stairs. But yeah, you've got an elevator over there, which I believe doesn't work at the moment, but like I said, I haven't really checked. And yeah, it's just like a little meeting area as well as a ship buying venue, so it's something, isn't it? Now I'm just gonna go back out there, have a look out the front, and so yeah, that is the social module as it is at the moment. Bit of a quick view of it, but you know, and a bit late, but I wanted to do it after the servers had stabilized, so you know, we weren't going to get disconnected halfway through a video. But yep, that is our core Area 18 in Star Citizen 1.2. We have CitizenCon running at this weekend, so that will be interesting to see what they reveal then. But yes, as we look at this gear orb thing that wouldn't work but looks cool anyway, I'm going to say I'm Denodon, this is Star Citizen, safe landings.